One of the best photos I've ever taken. What's available in the moment in Morocco. We were driving motorbike. Resource as well, which is time. Good morning, everybody. Why I stopped chasing the perfect shot is first and foremost because it doesn't exist. Second, because it gets you to be thinking less. Do you really think that Kurt Cobain's fantastic guitar, not only guitar playing, but his personality came out through planning and thinking? And no, it came out through raw, authentic feelings. Now, we've somewhat gone away from that because today everything can be controlled. But how can we translate that to freelance journalism and photography? Because there's not a lot of planning. It happens in the moment. And the more you embrace that, the more visual and compelling and real what you're bringing to the table is going to be. And that's what it's, the journalist is there to document in writing and photography. It's not there to create and plan and say this is how it's meant to be. Not at all. So the perfect shot, the perfect anything. Like today, people are not posting on social media because it's not perfect enough. People use way too much time before going on YouTube, editing their videos perfectly. Like it's a bit like this kind of video. It's just me talking about things that I'm passionate about, things that I believe in, things that I know to be true. I'm speaking my truth about a topic that I'm, well, what can I say, well travelled in. I've been doing it for a lot of years, so I know the ins and outs, and I'm guessing that I know a lot of things that people on the other side of the computer do not know. So that's that's the breakdown. That's what people want. That's what I want when I go onto YouTube. I want to see someone who talks about something that I'm interested in, and if the light's perfect, we're moving away from that. On social as well, like some of the viral stuff is just a person talking on a shitty iPhone camera with no lighting because it's authentic to the platform. And how does this translate? Travel photography, not only travel, but journalist photography and journalist writing is all about authenticity, right? And it's always been that way. But I see that there's starting to be, people are trying to plan out stuff and making more authentic. What are we just taking the genre and shredding it to pieces? That's not where we want to go. We want to be seeing stuff that's real, reality. That's what we're trying to capture and document. So and I did that as well, So I'm not some holy saint of all things true. I could sort of try and, for example, on a hiking trip in Morocco, we were driving motorbike up in not the Atlas Mountains, the Anti-Atlas, which are smaller. I don't know, there was this amazing nighttime sky. It was riveting. It was just like, what? It was, when I was asleep, I woke up in the night because I thought someone was shining a torch on my tent. What was it? It was the moon. We were so high up and there was no light pollution. It was just, I've never seen anything like it. Of course I have to take photos of this. or I need the 30-second exposure on a tripod. It put a bunch of stones, made a tripod because I hadn't got one, on top of 2 motorbikes, and out there freezing in the night, taking this photo, but the bonfire wasn't big enough. The bonfire wasn't big enough, so I was putting more and more on the bonfire, taking more and more photos. And I decided to do a time lapse as well for a video that I was doing on YouTube. Did some travel videos. And I was going to get the perfect shot, the perfect photo of this warm light from the bonfire and this cool light from the stars and almost this greenish hue coming. And so the camera overheated in the greenhouse and stopped filming. This is a perfect example of not getting the perfect shot. Shit happens all the time, and that's what happened in those the Atlas Mountains. Was that I don't even think the shot got published. I don't know how far I got in that story. So going on to the next is that failure. That's how we learn. There was a teacher I heard about in doing a pottery class with their students, saying that one class make the perfect pot or vase or whatnot, cup. Take one thing, make it perfect. Every time you fine tune it all day, every day long. Make it great. And on the other class, he said, make a new pot every day. Doesn't matter how shitty it is, just make something new every day. And at the end of the year, it was extraordinary how much better, how much further the students who made a new pottery pot thing progressed. How much they had leveled up with their skills on every level of pottery. And across the board, and that's so interesting because they failed, that didn't work, okay, let's try again. How are we going to learn? It's through failure. You're going to take 2,000 shots in a day, or you're going to take 20 that are perfect and orchestrated. How does even journalism work? It works by getting the honest that just happened, catching the moment. It's in journalist photography that's truer than in any other genre, catching the moment. The problem is also that you're not going to be immersed in the moment. For example, my mum, she was also always trying to get our birthdays perfect, which was good and a bad thing. When you're trying to organise everything while it's going on, just the way you envisioned it, all your focus and your attention is caught up in that. Like making a perfect cake, you're in the kitchen, that's planning. Great, the cake's going to be better. But when you carry it out onto the table so that your 1-year-old is going to blow out the candle, trying to make that perfect, very hard to do. And if you can strive towards it, you're not going to be present. You're not going to feel your child actually in the moment when she blows cake onto your nephew and your uncle and aunt and the whole family is roaring with laughter. That's the moment you want to experience as a mother. It's not everyone sitting around and the child blowing the candle and it just flickers away perfectly. We've seen it before, it's not unique. What would be a unique shot, not only for in that situation as well, it would be the cake in some kid's eye and their whole bunch roaring with laughter. True raw authenticity. Honest. That would be the good shot. But also the good situation for the mother to be in. So it translates across everything in life. There's this passage from the Bible where there's two sisters. I think it's Martha and Maria or something, and Jesus is coming to talk to them. They've come together to have some sort of meeting, and they're all stressing around. Everything has to be nice, food, cake, everything, everyone comfortable. And after a while, this one sits down, listens to Jesus. He's come here to talk, so that's why he's here. The other one keeps on trying and stressing around in the household. And then Jesus says, is this why I came here? To have everything perfect around me? Or was it to speak the word of the Lord and for us to meet and share our values? Was that not it? Yes, that was it. Okay, so sit down and let's share this moment together. That's what we came for, not having everything perfect. That is the same in photography. That's in this bubble where we are there in the moment. That's when we can start taking great photos as a journalist. Now, let me check the camera just to see that it's still recording. Yep, now this time it is still recording. Nothing is perfect, but I still think that this film is going to bring some sort of value to the table. And that's the whole point. It's me creating some value, and it's you getting some value, hopefully. And I like doing it. So it's not going to be perfect. And that's a great example from this story here. Because perfect, I do a lot of filmmaking as well. In filmmaking, there's way more planning, okay? And perfect is there's more lighting, it's more artificial. Like documentary filmmaking is more like travel journalism. So it's on the other end of the spectrum. But what I realize is perfect costs money. It costs. You have to have light guy, sound guy, people to do all the, I don't know, you need more people and you need more time. So most of us, I'm betting that the most of the people watching this haven't got those sort of resources, whatever field you're in, to make it perfect. But there's another resource as well, which is time. Are you going to shoot as a photographer 200 different scenes in a day or 20 and try to make them perfect? Here is a great example. One of the best photos I've ever taken. Cover shot and a 2-page spread. I was so stoked. And how did it happen? It was the last trip of the day, okay? If I would have said on the other bike rides, no, do it again, and not trying, because nothing's ever perfect, right? No, I want to try different composition. I want to try this, and just like min-maxing the small details, getting it even better, we would not have had time to do this ride and see this trail. So I could argue that the more trails I could cover on a mountain bike, the more unique opportunities I got to see new angles and different scenarios. And on the last trip of the day, a new trail was this. If I would have tried to get everything else, the perfect shot, we wouldn't have had time. Because there is something called time. Your clock's ticking every single second. But this shot wasn't working. There was grass, high grass. The bikers were disappearing in it. Okay? I couldn't see them at all. So to make them pop, I was like, well, this isn't working, so what can I do different? So I was like, I'm going to climb a tree. So I climbed the tree. Can't get the whole scope of what's going on here, the scene. So I changed to a 50mm fisheye lens. Rarely ever use it. It's an effect lens. Makes stuff seem warped and weird often. But I tried it. They came one run down. Click. I think it was the first photo, which was like, I knew it instantly. This is the perfect shot. It's not perfect, but it was a money shot. I knew it at once. And I looked at it so stoked. You know, that's the feeling that we're looking for as photographers. It's the shot. It was the shot. And wouldn't have had time for it if I tried to do everything perfect. Of course, I looked at my options. I was like, that's not working, that's not working. Okay, let's climb a tree. But I climbed the tree, bang, there it was. That's all. And I got the close to perfect shot. Why? Because 10 years of experience and failure led up to that shot. So and also climbing trees. My mum said that I climbed a tree 2 meters high before I could walk. So that's an asset that I've got, that I'm good at climbing. So that's an angle that was unlocked for me. You've probably got some other unique trait that you can use to tell your unique story. So it's just about what's available in the moment. There's a tree. My climbing skills were there, available in the moment. I had my fisheye. Okay, what's working, what's not? Let's try it. Click, and it just clicks, and that is magic. That is where the magic lies, and I think it shows not only in your work but also within yourself. When you're immersed in the moment, you're there, and you're not trying to deedly-dawdly get this tomato plant to be exactly perfect there and here and then this and this. No, just set up your camera, press record, whatever medium you're on, press the button, try, fail, try again, hone your craft, and in the end, you're going to be great. I truly believe that dedication and perseverance can get anyone almost anywhere. And I believe that because I think I've done it myself, and I haven't got any education, no photography education, no journalism, but still I managed to travel the world doing it, which is insane. Get a lot of free stuff while traveling, discounts and stuff. I talk about it in the other videos, and I'll have an interesting life. Basically because I chose to and didn't give up when I failed. So yeah, I think it's open for everybody. So the only thing you have to do now, pick up the camera and go get it.